Ecosystem maps are useful to make visible the connections between groups in the environment in which your project lives. It is a tool that illustrates the complexity of the system that your project is intended to impact, and by making this visible, the ecosystem map can help you identify connections that may be missing, maybe need to be strengthened, or may need to be leveraged. What is an ecosystem? According to dictionary.com, here are two ways of looking at an ecosystem. Both definitions stress an object that is interconnected, a community of organisms, and so the ecosystem map can be helpful in mapping out the interconnections of that community. What are some advantages of the ecosystem map? This slide lists several of them. Basically, it's a way of helping you to visualize the relationships between the components of the system in which your project lies. Why would you want to do this? That way, we can better understand the roles that each piece of the system plays in your project. You can identify connections that are strong, identify those that may need to be strengthened, identify connections that don't exist yet but are needed for your project to be successful. Here is an example of an ecosystem map from a previous Leading from the Middle team. The map shows the various groups on campus that interacted with the project and also the role that each played and the interconnection between the groups. So this was an example of a project that was working on the adoption of the multiple measures assessments and AB 705. And you can see the key players in the system were the instruction, student services, chancellor's office, the research department, and the district. And this ecosystem didn't just show the groups, it showed how they were related and the actions that tied them all together. You can see that an ecosystem map doesn't lend itself to a template, so it might be time to get out markers, paper, post-its, virtual markers, papers, and post-its, whatever works for you. Here are some other examples of ecosystem maps from previous teams. The first thing you'll notice when you look at these examples is the maps are very different. There's no one way to create one, so make one that will be helpful to you in your work and in your ecosystem.